Hi there, are you wanting to get into indie game development, but you don't want to do it at home, but you want to work on something maybe in a coffee shop or maybe at a friend's house? Here's the four great tools I personally use when I'm working out about, because I actually do a lot of my game development whilst I'm sat in a Starbucks. My first one is my laptop. This is a Ace Magic 16-inch laptop, which is 8 cores at 4.3 and 16 gig RAM. This gets me quite a bit done. This is around, I believe it's a £500 laptop, so it's not exactly on the cheap end, but it's not exactly on the most expensive end either. My personal setup, which I use, this can vary depending on what you have. I personally use on this Unity, Visual Studios, Photoshop, occasionally a little bit of Illustrator, and what else do I use? I also use Audition. Audition is great because it helps me clean up any audio issues. One thing I will say is if you are going to work in the coffee shop, always carry a mouse. I'm not going to lie, trying to use the trackpad on this laptop has caused me issues, especially on my own personal development, which is Night in the Main Museum, where if I left click, I can't right click, which obviously is quite, it's a little bit of an issue, but when I use my mouse, I can use the left button and the right button at the same time. I have no clue why I can't use both at the same time. It's probably something to do with a laptop, but yeah, always carry a mouse. So that's two pieces of kit you should always carry around. The next one, always have a notebook. I am not gonna lie, this notebook has probably saved my life more times than you might think, because there are times when I'm sat in the coffee shop when I want to work on a mechanic. I'm trying to type it out in code and then get stuck. What I normally do is when I get stuck, write a piece of code, write out the function list I need it to do, and then break it down. Trying to do that in anything like Visual Studios or on a notepad, it gets very, very frustrating at times because you're trying to code it, you're compiling it, not having figuring, trying to figure out what the issue is. And obviously, you're just going to be doing definition of insanity, doing same thing over and over again. But writing it down, you generally see where the issue is, and then you can try to fix it that way. The fourth tool is, I'm not going to lie, my phone saves me so much. The reason being, I've been sat in Starbucks at times and the internet has been so slow. And one of the things which I generally happen when I'm working, especially when I'm working in Unity and building a new feature, I get stuck. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of times when you just Google something, found what you need, and you just copy and paste it. But when the internet is so slow and it's taken 5-6 minutes to load a page, and I'm not joking, I have actually had 5 or 6 minutes load page time on the Wi-Fi there. The thing, what I like to do, I just hotspot my phone, or I move close to a window, hotspot my phone to my laptop, and then I can download or open things so much quicker. If you are going to do that, just make sure your plan is good for it, because if you are going to be downloading some game assets, I personally use stuff from Cinti. If I'm missing a pack and I have to download it, some of their packs are maybe 200-300 megabytes. That could take a big chunk of your data up if you're only on a small data plan. So always think about your data plan on your phone. If you apply, if you can do it, do it. But if you are unlimited and you're coming close, I'd say maybe try the writing method, or try to figure out what's causing the internet speeds to super slow. Lastly, I'm not gonna lie, I have forgot these so many times when I've been working out in Starbucks. If you forget your power cables, your game development stage, in that for that day at least, will just stop. You just don't have anything to use, especially if you're on 0% power. Always charge your stuff up beforehand, or at least take your chargers with you, providing you've got plug sockets. If you are going to set up in a coffee shop for a good few hours, please just don't be that guy. Do not take up an entire row with having your laptop, your note, your iPad taking up 3 or 4 spaces, especially in a busy coffee shop. It doesn't look great on you, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are starting to get a little bit annoyed with people who's doing that. If it's a quiet coffee shop, it's not too bad, but if someone asks if that seat's free, always try to take up the minimum space you need, especially if you're taking up an entire table. So yeah. If you have any questions about what I personally use, because like I said, on the laptop, I have a lot of my graphic design software, which is Unity, Photoshop, Illustrator, Audition, and 1 or 2 other painting software I use. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. So if you want to catch up on any more good game advice, do stick around. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.